There's no one-size-fits-all approach to creating a successful fundraising strategy and plan.
People are nervous, right? It's a big deal. We're raising $10 million, even if we're raising $1 or $3 million, depending on the size of the org.
Major gift fundraising is not deadline driven. It really is probably the only type of fundraising, along with planned giving, that is not deadline driven.
AI comes on the scene that's affordable, accessible, that can provide insights and personalization at scale.
That's the first core element of this fundraising engine or funnel, is making sure that the top of your funnel, the beginning of your fundraising process, you are in front of the right people.
What do the people we serve need? And how do we open the door to help them get there?
What happens a lot of times is we get this discomfort or this fear, and our brain tells our body to stop.
We can acquire donors and we can automate everything. And that's where I worry, at least personally, around the perils of AI, that it would remove humans from the interaction.
This is the Intentional Fundraiser Podcast.
Welcome to the Intentional Fundraiser Podcast, where we explore the art and science of transformational fundraising, one intentional step at a time. I'm your host, Tammy Zonker. Let me ask you something right off the bat. What if I told you that just 12% of your donors are responsible for nearly 88% of the dollars your nonprofit raises? Imagine what would happen if even a handful of those major donors drifted away. Would your mission thrive? Or would you be scrambling to fill the gap? Today, we're diving deep into why major donor stewardship isn't just a best practice. It's the lifeblood of sustainable fundraising. I'll share real stories, actionable strategies, and the latest trends so you can keep your most significant supporters engaged, inspired, and giving more generously year after year. So whether you're a major gift officer, executive director, development professional, or a board member passionate about your mission, grab your coffee, settle in, and let's get intentional about donor stewardship. Let's start with the big picture. In the world of fundraising, we're seeing some seismic shifts. A recent fundraising effectiveness project report shows donor retention is down 2.6% over previous years, with new donor retention at just 19.4% and repeat donor retention at 69.2%. And here's the kicker. The number of donors is shrinking, but the size of their gifts is growing. That means your organization's future hinges on your ability to keep your major donors really, really close. I've spent nearly 3 decades in major gifts, and if there's one lesson that's been hammered home, it's this. Stewardship isn't a thank you letter. It's a relationship. It's the difference between a one-time windfall and a multi-year, even transformational partnership. Let's do a quick thought experiment. Picture your top 5 donors. What would happen if 2 of them decided to stop giving next year? Would your programs be at risk? Would you have to scale back your impact? This isn't just a hypothetical. It's the reality for nonprofits across the country. Now, I know stewardship sounds great in theory, but in practice, it's easy to stumble. Over the years, I've seen a few recurring pain points. Inconsistent acknowledgement. Sometimes donors wait weeks for a thank you or never get one at all. One-size-fits-all communication. Mass emails and generic updates just don't cut it for high-value supporters. Lack of personalization. Donors want to feel known and valued, not like a line item in your database. Limited recognition. If your only recognition is an annual report mention, you're missing opportunities for deeper engagement. Data silos. When teams can't track donor preferences or history, important touchpoints slip through the cracks. Sound familiar? If you're nodding along, you're not alone. But here's the good news. With intention and a few proven strategies, you can turn these challenges into opportunities. Let's break down what works. I like to think of stewardship as a matrix, a living, breathing plan that guides how you engage donors at every level. Here are 4 strategies that consistently move the needle. The first is timely, personal acknowledgement. A prompt, heartfelt thank you is foundational. Think of it like the first impression on a first date. It sets the tone for everything that follows. In our stewardship matrix, we commit to emailing a tax receipt within 24 hours and following up with a personal phone call to major donors within 48 hours. For truly transformational gifts, senior leadership should reach out immediately. And don't underestimate the power of a handwritten note or a small, thoughtful gift. These gestures say, "You matter to us," in a way that an auto-generated email never could. If you're listening right now, pause and ask yourself, how quickly do we thank our major donors? If it's more than 48 hours, what's one thing you could do this week to speed that up? Next is segmented and personalized communication. Not all donors are created equal, and neither should your communications be. Use your donor management software to track interests, giving history, and preferred communication channels. If a donor is passionate about your education program, send them stories and impact reports specific to that area. This isn't just about dropping a donor's name into a template. It's about showing them you understand what they care about and keeping them connected to the impact they're making. Data-driven segmentation and automation can help you scale this without losing the personal touch. The third is meaningful recognition. Recognition isn't one size fits all. Some donors love public acknowledgement. Think donor walls, galas, or features in your newsletter. Others prefer a quiet thank you or a private lunch with your executive director. The key is to ask and honor their preferences. Consider hosting exclusive appreciation events or creating a major donor society with tiered benefits and special opportunities for engagement. This not only encourages increased giving, but fosters a sense of belonging, like being part of a VIP club for changemakers. And last is structured upgrade paths. Donors want to feel like they're part of something bigger, a formal major donor club or society with clear criteria and meaningful perks can inspire mid-level donors to step up and major donors to deepen their commitment. Regular engagement, special events, and opportunities to see their impact firsthand all contribute to a sense of community and purpose. Let me share a story that brings these strategies to life. A few years back, I worked with a mid-sized health nonprofit that received an unexpected $25,000 gift from a new donor. Let's call her Linda. At the time, the organization didn't have a formal stewardship plan, but they recognized the opportunity and decided to be intentional about Linda's experience. Here's what they did differently. Immediate, personalized acknowledgement. Within 24 hours, the executive director called Linda to express gratitude and learn about her interests. A handwritten note from a board member and a personalized welcome packet followed. Customized engagement. Linda was passionate about mental health. The team invited her to tour a mental health clinic, sent her quarterly impact reports focused on that area, and kept her updated on the programs she cared about. Meaningful recognition. Linda preferred private recognition, so the organization honored her wishes with a small luncheon where she could meet program leaders and beneficiaries. Continuous relationship building. They set reminders to check in every few months, sometimes just to share good news, other times to invite her to events or update her on projects. Importantly, they didn't ask for another gift until they demonstrated clear impact and value. The result? Over 3 years, Linda increased her annual giving to $50,000, joined the campaign steering committee, and made a $250,000 planned gift commitment. She told us she felt seen, heard, and truly valued. And that inspired her to deepen her investment. This is stewardship in action. It's about relationships, not transactions. Let's zoom out for a moment and talk trends. What's happening in fundraising right now that makes stewardship more important than ever? Fewer donors, bigger gifts. The donor pool is shrinking, but major gifts are becoming a larger share of total giving. Building deep, meaningful connections with fewer, more passionate supporters is the new normal. Personalization and data. Donors expect to be seen and understood. Surface level personalization isn't enough. Integrated data systems and authentic, timely communication are must haves. Artificial intelligence and automation. Artificial intelligence is helping fundraisers identify high value prospects and tailor communications. But authenticity and ethical use are critical. Donors can spot a robot thank you a mile away. Retention revolution. Nonprofits are doubling down on retention, focusing on strategy and empowering donor relations teams to own the stewardship process. The donor experience. From secure, easy online giving to authentic gratitude and regular impact updates, the end-to-end donor experience is under the microscope. Let me ask you, what's one trend you've noticed in your own fundraising work? How are you adapting to meet donors' changing expectations? I'd love to hear your stories. Share them with me on LinkedIn or in the comments. Most of you know I take my gardening seriously, so I'm going to use a garden metaphor to drive this home. Think of your donor relationships like a garden. You can't just plant seeds, walk away, and hope for the best. You need to water, weed, fertilize, and sometimes even talk to your plants. Donors love a little attention too. If you neglect your garden, it withers. But with consistent care, timely thank yous, personalized updates, and meaningful recognition, your relationships blossom. And sometimes a single well-tended plant can yield a harvest that sustains your whole organization. Are you ready to put these ideas into action? Here are 5 steps you can take this week to strengthen your major donor stewardship. Audit your acknowledgement process. Map out the journey from gift to thank you. Are you reaching out within 24 to 48 hours? If not, set a new standard and communicate it to your team. Segment your communications. Use your CRM to track donor interests and giving history. Send tailored updates that reflect what matters most to each donor. Ask about recognition preferences. Don't assume. Ask your major donors how they'd like to be recognized and honor their wishes. Create a major donor society. Develop a branded club or society with tiered benefits and regular engagement opportunities. Make your donors feel like insiders. Share impact stories. Consistently report back on the difference your donors are making. Use real stories, videos, or behind-the-scenes updates to bring your mission to life. Bonus tip: consider sending a donor survey to gather feedback on your stewardship practices. Ask open-ended questions like, what inspired you to give? And how can we make your experience better? This not only provides valuable insights, but shows donors you value their input. If you're looking for technology to help you streamline and scale your stewardship efforts, here are a few tools I recommend. Donor Perfect, comprehensive donor management, automated acknowledgments, and segmentation tools. Little Green Light, great for smaller organizations transitioning from spreadsheets, with strong integration options. Charity Engine, all-in-one solution with event management and workflow automation. Virtuous CRM, excellent for automating personalized donor journeys at scale. Remember, the best tool is the one you'll actually use. Start simple, build your processes, and let technology amplify your intentionality. A quick story. Years ago, I worked with an organization that prided itself on sending beautiful, glossy annual reports to every donor. But one year, a major donor called to say, "I love your mission, but I haven't heard from anyone since my last gift, except for this report." Ouch. The fix: we implemented a stewardship calendar, set reminders for quarterly check-ins, and made sure every major donor received a personal call or note at least 4 times a year. The result? Happier donors, higher retention, and more generous giving. What's your most memorable stewardship oops moment? How did you fix it? Connect with me on LinkedIn and share your story. Let's learn together. As we wrap up, let's recap the key points. Stewardship is the single most important factor in retaining and growing major donors. Timely personal acknowledgement sets the stage for lasting relationships. Segmented, personalized communication and meaningful recognition build trust and loyalty. Structured upgrade paths and donor societies foster a sense of belonging and inspire greater giving. Stewardship is about relationships, not transactions. When donors feel seen, heard, and valued, they become partners in your mission. Here's my challenge to you. Pick one stewardship strategy from today's episode and commit to implementing it next month. Whether it's speeding up your thank you process, launching a donor survey, or creating a major donor society, take intentional action. And remember, the organizations that prioritize donor care, personalization, and recognition are the ones that thrive, even in challenging times. Thank you for joining me on the Intentional Fundraiser podcast. I'm Tammy Zonker, reminding you to keep transforming your fundraising so you can transform the world.
The Intentional Fundraiser podcast is a Fundraising Transformed original. I'm Trent Thompson, the executive producer and CMO and head of community at Fundraising Transformed. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate and review it and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Visit fundraisingtransformed.com to get resources mentioned during this episode and subscribe to our Scaling Major Gifts newsletter.